What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Niner Sickness Podcast. I am your host, Niner Beto. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Saturday afternoon? The Hall of Fame Chinese are being not Chinese. The people that are being announced for the I can't pronounce that word. But the people that are being announced for the Hall of Fame inductees, I should say, are being announced today. There's so many things happening on a Saturday. We had camp today. No Brock Purdy. So many content creators out there talking football today. So, but I wanted to come on here and I wanted to specifically talk about Kyle Shanahan. I wanted to have a conversation about Kyle Shanahan. Can he be the guy to lead us to the promised land? Can we win a sixth Lombardi trophy with Kyle? Is Brock Purdy the answer? Is it Trey? Or even is it Sam Darnold? Can Kyle be the guy that wins it all and brings that sixth Lombardi trophy? We will talk about that and more right after this. And welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's say hello to my brother from a different mother, my Uzi. How you doing, Jason? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Man, I'm excited to talk 49er football. I want to engage in a conversation, in a civil conversation today about Kyle Shanahan. I want to get your thought process of what you guys think about Kyle. I understand a lot of us are upset. A lot of us are pissed off that Kyle hasn't been able to win a championship or brought home a championship yet. And I understand that we want to win a Super Bowl. I understand that we're longing for a Super Bowl. We're overdue for a Super Bowl. But what people fail to realize is it is so hard to be competitive. It is so hard to be competitive in the NFL. The NFL stands not for long. A lot of teams, they merge, they come in strong, they play good for a few years, and then they fade away. The San Francisco 49ers, for as long as I can remember, have struggled. And they were irrelevant for a long time. Between the time that Garcia left, we went through a carousel of quarterbacks. We went through a carousel of bad years, not being competitive, being the laughing stock of the NFL, being the butt joke of every night TV show. We went through that. We went through a lot of mediocre quarterbacks. We went through a lot of bad years. And then Jed York hires Jim Harbaugh. And Jim Harbaugh was able to cultivate and work with the talent on the roster. And he started to win games. We started to go to the NFC Championship game. We made one appearance in the Super Bowl. Prior to that, we were not even making the playoffs. We were not even smelling the playoffs. And one thing we haven't been knock on wood, we never been a one and done team in Harbaugh and in Shanahan's era. You know how many teams asked the Dallas Cowboys been a one and done? We have not been a one and done team. I understand. You want to win the big game. You want to win the Super Bowl. We all do. We all want to bring in the sixth Lombardi. We want to be champions. We have the makeup. We have the roster. But a lot of you are really questioning Kyle Shanahan. A lot of you are like, well, Kyle Shanahan, is he good? But maybe he's not good enough. Is he good or can he be better? There's so many things that I'm hearing about Kyle. Kyle this, Kyle that. Kyle doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks. Kyle gets quarterbacks hurt. Kyle got Trey hurt. We didn't win against the Rams in the championship game because of Kyle. We lost to Philadelphia because of Kyle. All these things negative towards Kyle Shanahan. And I don't understand why. Have you guys easily forgotten the years that we went through prior to Jim Harbaugh? Do you guys remember the Tim Tunsulas? The Jim Tunsulas? Or the Chip Kellys? Do you guys remember those 2-14 seasons? By the middle of the year, you're looking forward to see how high you will be in the draft the coming off season. That's all I look forward to. When the Niners were bad, I wasn't looking forward to, I wanted to go into the playoffs, but I wasn't looking forward to the playoffs. I was looking, okay, who's coming out? Who's coming out in the draft? Are we picking number 1 overall? Are we picking 2? Are we the top 5 in the next year's draft? Those are the things that I was looking at. Why? Because our team, the San Francisco 49ers, were not competitive at all. They were not competitive. Saleh and Ryan were both young and still up and coming. I can see Wilkes talking to Kyle and telling him to go for something he usually would not. I agree. And I think that Wilkes is confident enough that if he gives advice to Kyle and it doesn't work, that his defense will get the ball back to the offense. Have we really forgotten? What's up, Daniel? Barry Sports, welcome. Have we really forgotten the years of misery? The years of losing year after year after year? Looking forward to the draft. Where were we going to draft at? Are we going to be a top 5? It seems to me that that's all we had to look forward to. Because the team was not winning. And now we have a team that is kicking ass, taking names. We have a team that has loaded roster. We're winning 13 games, seasons, and we're complaining about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, if I can remind you, took over a team that was terrible, and he gutted it. He gutted it to the ground. The difference between Kyle Shanahan and Jim Harbaugh is that Jim Harbaugh inherited a good team that was mismanaged by the previous coaches. He came in and took over a team with the Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Vernon Davis, Frank Gore. He took over a team that was mismanaged and won games and took us to championships. Kyle Shanahan, on the other hand, he gutted it all out. I think only 2 players remained from the previous regime when he took over, him and John. And they brought everybody and they built to the draft. They implemented through the free agency and they built through the draft. So, whether you agree with me or not, it's okay. The first 2 years of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you can't really look at those 2 years because they were rebuilding. They were building from the ground up within those 2 years. They've been here 6. They're going into their 7th year as head coach and GM. And 6 years minus 2, that gives you 4 years. In those 4 years, Kyle Shanahan took my San Francisco 49ers, to 3 NFC championship games and 1 Super Bowl appearance. In 4 years, he took our team to 3 NFC title games and 1 Super Bowl appearance. This is after gutting out the team. That means they brought in the right free agents and they drafted well. Not only did they draft well, they developed well. Now, the argument that I hear all the time is Kyle Shanahan should have drafted Patrick Mahomes. Kyle Shanahan had the opportunity to draft Patrick Mahomes, and he did not do it. Nobody knew what Patrick Mahomes was going to be until Andy Reid got a hold of him. Nobody knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to be the beast that he is today. Now, could have the Niners drafted Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, winning back-to-back championships? Maybe. Maybe they should have looked at Deshaun. But the Niners, particularly Kyle Shanahan, he had why I don't agree with. But I can understand. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I can understand. Kyle was going to build the defense. He wanted a 1-year rental from Bobby Hoyer or whatever his name is. And he was going to pursue Kirk Cousins. Now, many of you are not big fans of Kirk Cousins. Neither am I. But that was the plan. Well, at least that seemed to be the plan for Kyle. He wanted to pursue Kirk Cousins. He was going to have Hoyer to be that bridge. And he was going to start building defensively, particularly the front line. Now, many people don't agree with that. Many people are upset. They are upset that they took Solomon Thomas. Now, Solomon Thomas was definitely a head scratcher. He was. Solomon Thomas was outstanding at Stanford. But we already had Eric Armstead. Why would you draft Solomon Thomas? Well, even though it was the wrong choice, it's pretty easy to understand why. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they were rookies. They were a rookie head coach and a rookie GM. And they made rookie mistakes. Rookie GM and rookie coach. And they made rookie mistakes. They should have drafted Deshaun Watson. They should have scouted quarterbacks. But they were rookies. Now, if it seems like I'm giving them an excuse, or it seems like I'm kissing their ass, and let it be what you think it is. They should have scouted quarterbacks. They should have went after Deshaun Watson. They should have looked at the potential ability of Patrick Mahomes, but they didn't. Why? Because Kyle had it in his head that he wanted Kirk Cousins. And then to this day, that comes back and bites him right in the butt. But it is what it is. Now, Kyle should have been smarter. Kyle should have taken a look at quarterbacks. Kyle should have scouted the Patrick Mahomes. So I blame Kyle for not doing that. But I understand also that he's a rookie GM. There's a rookie coach, and Kyle, a rookie GM, and John. They made rookie mistakes. But even though they made those rookie mistakes, they've been here 6 years, going on number 7. Within those 6 years, you remove 2 years because they had to build. They had to gut it out. They had to break everything down to the core and rebuild from the floor up. So those 2 years were in just building, drafting, and developing. So in 4 years, those 2 rookie individuals took us to 3 NFC championship games and 1 Super Bowl appearance. But for so many of you, it's not good enough. The fact that I hear that Kyle should get fired is ludicrous. The fact that you want, or certain Niner fans, I should say, want Kyle to be fired is idiotic. Why would you want to fire a coach that's taking you to 3 NFC championship games and 1 Super Bowl appearance in 4 years? Oh, excuse me. You want to fire him because he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. How long did it take Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl? And many of Niner fans say, well, I don't want to wait that long. You know what I say to that? Too freaking bad. It's not about you. You don't want to wait about another 2-3 years to win a Super Bowl. It's not about you. It's about the team. Now, I'd rather win sooner rather than later. But how long did it take Andy Reid? He was constantly going to championship games in Philadelphia with McNabb, but he couldn't cross over. It wasn't until he left, went to Kansas City, and got a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. Now he has 2 Super Bowls under his resume. Andy Reid. You got to give Kyle an opportunity to put it all together. Yes, what makes it frustrating, and I'm not blind, what makes things frustrated is the carousel of quarterbacks. It's this quarterback, that quarterback. I understand the frustration. I would love to have a franchise quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, a Justin Herbert, a Joe Burrow, a Trevor Lawrence. Who would not want another Joe Montana or Steve Young on their roster? Anybody that loves football wants a franchise quarterback, right? But we have been winning games. We have dominated the NFC. We went 6-0 within our division with 3 quarterbacks. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in for a minute. We won and we swept the NFC 6-0 in the NFC West with not 1, not 2, but 3 quarterbacks. That's credit to Kyle Shanahan. I'm not saying not to blame Kyle, and I do agree with Jason. Kyle's biggest issue is his ego. He outthinks himself too often. And instead of always going by the book, he needs to go with his gut. Now, again, this is not me defending Kyle. This is not a let's kiss Kyle's ass podcast. Kyle needs to be kept accountable. Absolutely. Kyle needs to be kept accountable and blamed for the shit he does wrong, but he also needs to be acknowledged for the things that he does right. What's up, Dawn? How you doing, Dawn? Welcome to the channel. Good to see you, my little sis. She says, I just wanted to stop by and say hello. Not staying long. We're watching the Wrestling Summer Slam. Okay. Wonder I don't have that many people today. I forgot about the WWE having his yearly thing in August. Isn't that like the WrestleMania type of event? You going to acknowledge Tribal Chief? You got to. Andy Reid was not who he is until he got Patrick Mahomes. Is Brock Purdy the Patrick Mahomes that Kyle needs? I'm not saying that Brock Purdy is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy will be as good as Patrick Mahomes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Brock Purdy the Patrick Mahomes that Kyle needs to win a Super Bowl in San Francisco? With this defense, with this roster, with the running game, with the receiving core, with the offensive line, with the defensive line, linebacking core, secondary, could Niners win with Brock Purdy at the helm? Now, the biggest challenge, the number one challenge, is health. Can they stay healthy? First and foremost. Can they stay healthy? Please don't forget to smash the like button and wipe your feet and subscribe. I smashed the like button and wiped my feet. Thank you very much. Hold on. Thank you very much there, Don. Appreciate that very, very much. So, you can be mad that we haven't won the Super Bowl. You can be pissed off that we haven't gotten in the 6th Lombardi trophy. That's fine. I'm pissed off too. But I've been watching the San Francisco 49ers since 1976. Since 1976, I've been a fan. I had my share of ups and downs. Do I want to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Do I want to bring the 6th Lombardi home? Absolutely. But I'd rather be relevant. I want to win every year. I want to be in contention every year. I want to be talked about in a positive way every year. I want to dominate every year. I don't want to be like the Rams, where they win one Super Bowl and now they're going to be mediocre for the rest of a few years. Everybody wants to win now. Everybody wants to win now. And if they don't get what they want to fire this person. They want to get rid of this player. We live in the, and Really makes a very good point here. Let me bring it. Welcome to the stream, by the way. We live in a microwave generation. Very good point. We do. What can you do for me lately? It took Andy Reid a long time to win a Super Bowl. People have told me, I don't want to wait. Well, too bad. I want a Super Bowl now. Well, too bad. All I know is this. If the 49ers continue to be competitive, if they continue to go to the dance, they're going to win it eventually. They got to be competitive, though. And how do you stay competitive in a salary cap era, is developing draftees, drafting well and developing players. Yes, we brought in a Hargrave. But our team that we have right now is not built from free agency. The team that you have right now is built from the draft. George Kittle, arguably the best tight end, if not the top 3. 5th round. Not first round, 5th round. Fred Warner, arguably the best middle linebacker, if not the top 3. Got drafted in the 3rd round. Deebo Samuel, arguably one of the best receivers on the team. You can do whatever you want with him, taken in the second round. Hufanga, an all-pro safety, taken in the 5th round or 6th. Then you got Greenlaw, taken in the 5th or 6th round. Then I've been hearing about this kid from TCU, linebacker, Winters, D. Winters. Now, he hasn't done anything yet, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about D. Winters, a 6th round selection. The Niners are drafting well, and they're building the team, and they are developing players. That's how you stay consistent in the NFL. That's how you keep your window open. Trent Williams is getting older. Yes, he's arguably the best left tackle. But if I know my Niners, they have a plan to get someone there. When Joe Staley decided to retire, when Joe Staley said, I'm going to retire, right? We all said, oh, crap. Oh, crap. Joe Staley's retiring? What the heck are we going to do at left guard? Tackle, excuse me. What are we going to do at left tackle? Joe Staley's retiring. What did the Niners do? Oh, yeah. They brought in Trent Williams for a 3rd round and a 5th. They got the best freaking left tackle, better than Staley, and I love Staley, for a 3rd and a 5th. Not only did they only give up a 3rd and a 5th, this is where I credit John Lynch. Daniel Snyder, who's no longer in the NFL. He is no longer in the NFL. Good riddance to Daniel Snyder. But Daniel Snyder hated the Shanahans. He hated the Shanahans going back to Mike Shanahan. In order for them to give us Trent Williams for a 3rd and a 5th, it was a master plan by John Lynch. You're going to tell me that we got arguably the best left tackle in the NFL. We only gave up a 3rd and a 5th to a team which the owner hated the Shanahans? But yet, we are so microwave generation that we want to win now. And if we don't win, we got to blame. We got to blame the quarterback situation. We got to blame the head coach. We got to blame the front office. Blame. Forget about the 13-4 record we had last year. Forget about the part that we beat Seattle 3 times. 3 times we beat Seattle. Forget about the part that we beat Dallas for the 2nd consecutive time in the playoffs. Send their ass home. Forget about going to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row, back to back. Now, we lost them both, and that sucks within itself. And it does. It does suck losing both championships. I'm with you. But you know how many teams will give to get there and have the opportunity to play one game to get to the Super Bowl? To get the opportunity to be one game away from a Super Bowl. When was the last time the Dallas Cowboys had the opportunity to play just one game for the opportunity to represent the NFC in a Super Bowl? When was the last time the Lions did that? When was the last time that teams had the opportunity to represent the NFC? I understand. You get there, you try to win them. And I hope and I wish we would have. But the drop from Tart, that drop that Tart did, that easy catch drop, how in the world is that to blame Kyle? If you got to remember, you got to look at the whole game, okay? And you got to look at the chain reaction that everything happens. There's always a chain reaction to everything, right? The Rams scored a touchdown on that drive. On that particularly drive that Tart dropped, that for sure interception, the Rams scored a touchdown. At the very least, by Tart taking away the ball and getting that interception, would have eliminated 7 points. At the very least, it would have eliminated 7 points off the board from the Rams. And the Niners had the opportunity to score themselves. Now, let's say the Niners did not score on that interception, a touchdown. At the very least, he could have gotten a field goal out of it from Robbie Gould. How many points did we lose to the Rams in that championship game? 3 points. Are you with me? Do you see the chain reactions to every situation? So if Tart would have caught the ball, the Niners would have been going to the Super Bowl. I know it. And the way that offensive line for Cincinnati was that year and how dominant our defensive line was, we would have destroyed Cincinnati. And Kyle Shanahan would have had his sixth. Well, he would have his first Lombardi, but we would have had our sixth. That wasn't on Kyle. And then fast forward a year later, we make it to the NFC Championship game. We're playing with confidence. We're playing great under Brock Purdy. He gets hurt. He gets hurt. And we lose the championship. And people want to blame Kyle. Wow. If Kyle would have not put a third round tight end on Kraft to protect Brock would shut up. You know how many times during the season that same play was ran successfully since Brock took over? Do you know how many times Kraft blocked and it was successful? Reddick is another animal. Hassan Reddick is a beast. He did not bite on the run. They were trying to sell the run. And Hassan Reddick did not bite. He took a flyer that it was going to be a pass, and he was right. That's why he was able to get to Brock Purdy. that quick because he did not buy on the run. Shit happens. It sucks, but it happens. How is that Kyle's fault? Again, you can hold Kyle to higher standards. You can predict Kyle. I'm not saying that what everything Kyle does is good. There are things that Kyle does that makes me wonder, what the F are you doing, Kyle? What were you thinking in that moment, Kyle? There's plenty to criticize Kyle on. But I also understand that Kyle gives us the best option to win a Super Bowl. You know how many teams will do anything to have Kyle on their staff? Yet, people want to fire Kyle from the San Francisco 49ers. Fire Kyle. He can't win the big one. I have to ask, are you a true Niner fan? Are you a true Niner fan? Now, Kyle makes some dumb decisions, like against the Eagles. He should have challenged that Debo interception, or not interception, but batted down, whatever it was. He should have challenged, even if he got it wrong. It was a very pivotal moment of the game. So I blame Kyle for that. Absolutely. I was pissed at Kyle. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that he gives us the best chances to win a Super Bowl. Yes, what John Lynch has done is incredible. He has built a great... This is the thing, guys. Everybody loves Debo. Everybody loves Ayuk. Everybody loves Bosa. Everybody loves Fred Warner, Hufanga. You got a Greenlaw. You got all these players that people love. Who do you think drafted these players? The fact that we have all these players, loaded roster, is because John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are doing their job. And they're doing their job correctly. What's up, Andrew Martinez is in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, Andrew? We got Rick Perez in the house. What's up, Rick Perez? Good to see you, sir. My brother from another mother, Mr. David McNiner in the house. What's up, David? What if Kyle gets close but doesn't win it? We go on for another year. I mean, but the key word in that phrase there, David, getting close. Because your statement says, what if Kyle always gets close? That means always is always getting to that game, right? You know how many coaches don't even get that close? You know how many coaches don't even sniff the AFC or NFC championship game? Do I want Kyle to win it all? Yes. But you can't tell me that if someone keeps on knocking, that the door's not going to be wide open. Eventually, the door's going to open. But you got to be able to knock on the door for it to be open. It sucks so far. It really sucks that from this point, we have not won the championship yet. We haven't won the Super Bowl. But we are always in contention. Are we not in contention to get there this year? Aren't you excited that the team that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan has built gives us an opportunity, even with a quarterback, to win it all? And I know this is a Niner podcast and it's about the Niners, not other teams. But to my point, how many teams out there, how many fans? I'll use the fans of the Cardinals because they're in the West and they suck. Do you think the Cardinals are going into this season with the excitement that they might make it to the Super Bowl? I'm not talking about the delusional ones. Okay, I'm not talking about Rudy and the delusional Rams fan. I love Rudy. I have nothing but respect for Rudy, but he is delusional. I'm talking about the realistic fans. Do you think the Cardinal fans are looking at this season with, oh my goodness, we may have the chance to win it all? Hell no. Hell no. They're probably looking at us like, how many games are we going to lose? Do we get the chance to go after that young quarterback coming out next year? If Kyler Murray's not the guy. But me and you, we get to go in this offseason. Even though we're not situated at quarterback, we still can go into this season saying we can win it all. If everything falls in place, if no injuries and everything happens the right way, the San Francisco 49ers have an opportunity to win it all. That's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. Do I want them to punch in the ticket? Absolutely. Punch in the ticket. Let's get Lombardi 6. Let's bring the 6th Lombardi home. Let's get it all. But you got to be at the dance if you want to win the dance trophy. You can't win it from home. Rick Diaz says, I am a diehard Niner fan. Good in the bag. Good in the bag. Go Niners. Oh, yeah. Go, go, go. Niners fan. Good in the bag. I might need a little bit of clarification on that, Rick. Let's see here. We haven't heard nothing about McCaffrey, George Kittle too. Much what's going on. Oh, there's a lot of things being said about McCaffrey and Kittle, and they're all positive. Training camp has been buzzing about George Kittle and McCaffrey, and it has been in a positive way. The Giants can't score a run on the triple A's. This team is still early. The A's are terrible. I still think the Niners will win the big one. When I don't know, nobody knows when they will win the big one, but I know it's very close. You got to keep knocking on the door if that door is going to be eventually open. And I understand the frustration. I do. I understand the fact that we haven't won it. We've been so close. And yet we haven't punched through. I understand the frustration. I understand the desire to want to win that 6th Lombardi trophy, that you can just taste it. It is almost tangible, and it's just like a fart in the wind. It disappears. I understand the frustration. But I want to encourage you. Don't lose faith on Kyle. Keep him accountable. Yell at him for the shit that he does wrong. I'll be yelling at him with you. But don't give up on your head coach. Don't give up on your GM. Most importantly, don't give hope Don't give up on hope on winning this year, winning it all. Aren't we called the faithful? Isn't this team reference to we are the faithful? What does faithful mean? Faithful means believing in something that you don't see. Having faith is faithful. Let's all believe that this is the year that Kyle Shanahan will bring back the 6th title to San Francisco. Whether it's Brock Purdy, whether it's Trey Lance, whether it's Sam Donald, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Godzilla, or King Kong, I don't care. If he can bring back the 6th Lombardi trophy with whoever back there, the fact that we won a 6th is good enough for me. But I want to be relevant. I want to be relevant. I want to win every year. I want double-digit wins every year. I want to be consistent every year. I want to wear my colors with pride every year. Not that I don't wear it. Listen, I got a tattoo right here. So rain or shine, good or bad, I'm sporting my colors. I got it right here. 49ers, right here. Sorry, little bit of dry skin there. So whether the team is good or not, I rip my colors with pride. But there is a sense that when the Niners are dominant, when the Niners are feared, you can walk with a certain amount of pride. Yep, you wear your colors with pride. It is a privilege to wear the logo like, yeah, this is the best team in the NFC. There's something about having successful seasons that you can wear your colors with pride. Back when we were losing year after year, I still wear my colors. I still have my tattoos. I still wear my jerseys. But I couldn't boast. I couldn't pump out my chest. I just humbly wore my jerseys, my hats, whatever it was during those losing seasons. During those losing seasons, I wore my colors. But I never pumped my chest. Yeah, we are the San Francisco 49ers. What's up? Why? Because we were getting our ass kicked year in and year out. But we did not make the Super Bowl last year, but we were 13-4 or 3. Oh, 4, yeah. 13-4. We won 13 games out of 17 with 3 quarterbacks. Let that sink in. We won 13 games out of 17 in the regular season with 3 quarterbacks. Some teams can't even win that many games with an all-pro quarterback. And we did it with 3 quarterbacks. If that's not a testament to John Lynch for building this roster and for Kyle Shanahan running this team, I don't know what is. We won 13 games out of 17 last year with 3 quarterbacks. Some teams out there cannot win 13 games if their life depended on it, and they have a franchise quarterback. I believe that we can win the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan. I do. I do believe that we will eventually bust their door down. I do believe that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will bring the 6th Lombardi trophy. As I come to a close, I'm going to share this. Hope this is encouraging. Yes, we moved on from DeForest Buckner. Yes, we traded DeForest Buckner. Many of you were not happy with that trade. Many of you were not happy with the DeForest Buckner trade. It is a sore subject. Until this day, still sore. But those same people that hated the trade of DeForest are the same people that are in love with Brandon Ayuk. Those same people, let me say it again. Those same people that hated the trade of DeForest Buckner to the Colts are the same people that love Brandon Ayuk as a Niner receiver. Well, let me tell you something. Let me bust that bubble for a moment. If that trade of DeForest Buckner to the Colts would not have happened, Brandon Ayuk would not be on this team. You heard me. Brandon Ayuk would not have been on this team if that trade of DeForest Buckner did not happen. The fact that we traded DeForest Buckner, the fact that we got a high pick in the first round, we were able to make business with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We moved up. We moved down one spot with Tampa. They gave us an extra pick, which in return we used to move up at the bottom of the first to get Brandon Ayuk. So we trade DeForest Buckner. We get that high pick in the first round from the Colts. We use that as leverage to trade with Tampa Bay to get an extra pick, which we used to be able to move up from the 30th to the 25th, where we took Brandon Ayuk. See, we easily forget. We love Brandon Ayuk, but we hate the trade of DeForest Buckner. It all works together. Now, they drafted Javon Kinlaw in the hopes that he would have worked out. Now, he hasn't worked out to this point. We know this. But we still got Brandon Ayuk in that whole ordeal. So even though Kinlaw did not work out, now it would have been even better. It would have been icing on the cake if Kinlaw would have worked out the way we hoped for. But the fact that we still got Brandon freaking Ayuk on this roster is still a win-win draft. But one of our weakest spot on defense was, besides our secondary, was the middle of the defense. The inside of the defense was one of the weakest spots for the Niners. What did John Lynch do and Kyle? They marched and went over to Jed York's home, or however they did it. They met up. And they pounded the table for one Hargrave. They knew that one of the areas they were weakening at was the inside defense because Kinlaw has not worked out the way they saw it. And what do? They went and got Hargrave. So we got Debo on this roster, and we got a better, this is me, you can disagree with me all you want, that's fine. We got a better version of DeForest Buckner and Hargrave. We got a better version of DeForest Buckner and Hargrave. Hargrave is a better pass rusher than DeForest Buckner is. Even if he's just as good, we still got back our DeForest Buckner. And we have Brandon Ayuk. And we have the opportunity to win our 6th Lombardi trophy this year. Hate on Kyle all you want. Want him fired? So be it. But Kyle is not going anywhere. There's good chemistry between Kyle and John Lynch. They have the same vision. They have the same goals. They're trending in the same direction, which is the right direction. They're always competitive under their leadership. Players love and respect one another in the locker room. They have a great track record of drafting free agents, and they're going to get Bosa signed. People say, well, wait a minute. Fred Warner did not take this long. Kittle did not take this long. Debo was wanting to be traded in the whole saga. He did not even take. Let me kindly remind you that when they pay, because they will, when they pay Nick Bosa, this will be the highest contract ever given to a 49er player in franchise history. There is so much money involved in this particular contract with Bosa, and rightfully deserved. But this is why it's taking a little bit longer than what we wanted to take. It's because there's so much things they have to work on. But I have no shadow of a doubt that Nick Bosa will be signed and delivered ready to rock and roll before week 1. And I believe that Nick Bosa is staying in shape. He's not at home just sitting on the couch. He is staying in shape, ready to rock and roll. Could 2023 be the year that the San Francisco 49ers finally get over the hump and win the 6th and bring back home the 6th Lombardi trophy to San Francisco? We shall wait and see. But I like the direction we're going in. I like the way Kyle and John Lynch is building this team. I like how Kyle develops minority coaches and gives them head coaching jobs, opportunities. And in return, we get a bunch of 3s, 3rd round picks. Let's go Niners. Let's support the team. You can complain about John. You can complain about Kyle all you want. That is fine. But at the end of the day, are we faithful? Are we the faithful? Do we believe in San Francisco 49ers? Do we believe that Kyle and John Lynch, even though we don't agree with them and everything, do we believe enough to say we can win our 6th Lombardi trophy with these two guys running the ship? I do. Do you? All right, guys. That is my show. Thank you for hanging out with your boy Niner Sickness. You guys were amazing. Thank you for being part of the comments. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with those that haven't seen it. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Peace, God bless, and remember, be good to one another and always remain faithful. Peace.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.